Japan Dyno, the best of Japan to you.
Howdy, this is Andy of Japan Dyno, and I have for you an HKS super sequential blow-off valve. This valve was removed from an S15 Spec R 6-speed SR20DET engine vehicle here in Japan in good, tidy working condition. As you can see here, we have the valve with the specific flange there. This flange used with the S15 Evo vehicles and a number of other vehicles, but with a very specific hose here. This hose suited only for the SR20DET S15, gets it up and out of the way, so specifically designed for the S15 SR20DET engine. The valve itself, the blow-off valve itself, a universal blow-off valve. The flange commonly used with other vehicles such as the Evo and others, and we'll run through some closer photos. So we have the blow-off valve here, universal blow-off valve, the world-renowned famous super sequential blow-off valve by the HKS company here in Japan. HKS, of course, a famous tuning and performance company. This is a diaphragm type blow-off valve, has a diaphragm in this area here. Boost pressure from below pushes on the diaphragm, and the inner manifold vacuum pulls on the diaphragm. When they are enough to overcome the spring, the diaphragm flutters or moves against the spring here, pulling a piston through the center here, which releases the boost out of the trumpet side here. So a sequential blow-off valve moves in little sequential movements, as opposed to a piston type, which moves in sudden movements. The sequential having more of a flutter sound than the valve type. So a sequential type diaphragm type blow-off valve, and adjustable, fully adjustable type blow-off valve, can be used with any turbo vehicle. The other side here, we can see the bolt and the locking nut there. So the spring, this is the spring housing here, spring resisting the diaphragm, of course. So by winding in and out the bolt here, the tensioning on the spring can be adjusted and then locked in place with the locking nut. So in good working condition. This is the nipple, of course, that goes to the inner manifold, and nice and tidy. A few little minor marks and a little bit of corrosion on the back there, but a very tidy example. And the back of the unit, the spring housing here, the diaphragm housing around in this area here, the piston that runs through the center, this, of course, the flange. So finally, shot from the front, giving that very distinctive look. Slightly overexposed to be able to give you a look at the trumpet here. This is the piston, and so when the diaphragm moves in those little sequential movements, it allows the boost to squeeze around the edge of the piston here, creating that very distinctive Japanese HKS sequential sound, super sequential sound. The front of the valve here, very attractive and very distinctive HKS look to it. So HKS super sequential blow-off valve, made in Japan, from Japan. Thank you.
In order to serve you better, we have our website at www.japandyno.com, as well as our blog, the Japan Dyno Daily Fix, where we feature items of special interest. Look forward to seeing you there.